Okay, so there's a new evolution out. It's called From Box to Box. Increase the overall abilities and prominence of your center mids with the Relentless and the Box to Box Plus. Now, this Box to Box Plus, especially you're playing like a 4-3-3 when you have three midfielders and you have the either left center mid or right center mid becoming those box to box players. I think this is actually a really, really good playstyle. You also do get the Trivela playstyle as well. And of course, you do get a boost of stats. Basically, a 2 all around apart from pace. Quite smart from you not to give you the pace there. But the first one's very easy. You play 3 matches in Rush using your Evo, and then you have to win it. And then the next one is you play 4, and then you have to win 3. Let's go through some of the eligible players. There's going to be a lot of players here. Now, what I'm going to do quick filters here because I want to focus really on the meta players here, players that are really worthwhile. Now, for box to box, I'm going to go with sprint speed. So sprint speed will put down on 75. It is quite high, especially for this stage of the game. But I'm still going to do that. And for defense awareness, we'll go with a conservative 70. So at least they're going to be a box to box player, but they can work out very, very well. And you can see, for example, let's go to Evolves players. In fact, actually, let's change it over here. That's actually probably a bit better. So we go a sprint speed above 75, and the sprint speed doesn't get adjusted, don't forget, because it doesn't give you a +2. Now we can have a look at some of the cards. So actually some decent cards here. I'm looking at this Loftus-Cheek, to be honest. This Loftus-Cheek is actually looking, I don't like this raw new system, 70. There we go. This Loftus-Cheek is looking very well. So we've got Leila Banos, one of my favorite cards last year. She's actually a very, very good card if you do intro to stats and box to box. 79 sprint speed. I think she's a bit wasted with her league though. You can get a player like Aitana for only 180k this year. Just bearing that in mind. But she's still a very good card. Good pass to the ball, defense awareness, jockey, intercept, long ball, and incisive pass play styles. I think that's actually a good option. Paula Fernandez, another card as well. A lot of these other off leagues, these are actually very, very good cheap cards that you can get. She's 5'6", really the only downside her being short, but she's a decent card. Now, going to the real meta cards, we've got Caicedo. Now, Caicedo is one of the better cards you can go for. Box to box plus as well. The main thing you're really paying for is, look, you get an 82 defense awareness. He's probably one of the better cards because he's got really good passing. For a box-to-box player who's got that good passing, he's definitely a good card to go to. Now, the benefit is that he does have okay short passing, okay long passing. You could put a Hunter on it, and you can try to increase his shooting, but to be honest, his finishing is not good enough anyway. There's other... I'm just trying to double-check now. I think it's, apart from Deadeye, I'm thinking it's any other chemistry. So you could go with a Gladiator. Okay, so to be honest, you could go with a Gladiator or a Hawk. I'd probably say maybe I'm just thinking about this now actually. What would I rather want? Let's say I Caicedo in my team. Maybe a Deadeye is what I'd go for. I'll kind of keep the pace and I'll go with a Deadeye. Just to get a shot power up. Look, to be honest, I think his finishing stats are a bit too low. But I think realistically speaking, if you can get his shot power and his long shots up, even a Maestro might not be a bad idea. If you can get not a sniper, yeah, if you can get like his shot power and his long shots up, you can use him as a box to box. But Ufer is very, very good, very, very underrated player as well. Good agility and balance and good card all around. Then we're going to go with, it's actually so many cards here. Any of these cards, by the way, that I'm showing you are pretty good. This is actually a better option. You could go with a Shadow on this card. Now the benefit is with a Shadow is you kind of improve that defensive ability, get the defensive awareness up a little bit. He's got good passing and he's actually got some very good stats there. Bit clunky, that's the only downside, but can play the CDM, center mid and cam role as well. He's got holding, playmaker, and he's got box to box, and he's got playmaker cam. Interesting, but with those stats, he actually looks very, very good. You don't have to worry about the strength too much because he's quite a tall player. You know what? That's actually a very, very good card. You can even argue as a Hunter, as a box-to-box player, someone coming deep and getting up, attacking opportunities. That's actually a very, very good card. Definitely one that I would consider. Then we got Kessie, one of my favorite cards. The Banez link is Banez extinct because of this card. But what a card. This is where I think it would excel the most. You can go either Shadow, if you want more of a defensive player, But if you want to move a box to box, look at that. Look at those stats with a Hunter. Absolutely incredible. 85 finishing, 90 shot power. Long shots could be better, to be honest. You can maybe even consider going with a Hawk as well, getting his pace up and his shot power and his long shots. And you've actually got a really good... That's probably one of the best center mids inside the game with that evolution. So top tier evolution in the end. There's actually a few other cards. Well, we've got Joe Linton as well. We've got Loftus-Cheek. And we've got Zielinski. Gallagher is actually not bad of a card. I'm just going to quickly just flick through some of these. And I want to pick out some that I know. Lerma is actually a very good card. Very underrated. He's actually a cheap card. Zakaria, one of the best CDMs inside the game, actually. Got a lot of in-game stats. I'll show you that in a second. We've got McKennie. He's also good. Kakare is okay. Oxlade is okay. I've been using him in Rush after they made that despicable decision to reduce it to 79 rated overall. I don't know why I did that. I'll show you those stats in a second. Just saying, there's anyone else here of notable. So look, let's finish off these guys. Look, Joe Linton brings... Actually, Joe Linton might be a good option. With a Hunter, I'd probably say, leaning towards a Hunter. 3-star, 3-star, not the best, but Premier League, box-to-box, Brazilian. I think he's a good card. Good short passing. He's actually a very good card. You're just going to feel him a bit clunky on him. But if you want that physical presence, he's good. Acceleration lets him down. Now, Loftus-Cheek, now, when you combine this with intro to stats, Loftus-Cheek is actually one of the best gold centre mids inside the game that money can buy, especially in the Serie A. In fact, he was in my starter team. If you saw that on my main channel, I made a starter squad now. You could go either Shadow. I think Shadow are better. Hunter will be better if you want that shooting player, 4-star, 4-star, and he can play as that half winger as well. That's actually a very, very good card. But I'll probably say a Shadow. Just to get that defensive awareness up, I'll say for that box-to-box, maybe get that Shadow. If you are going to use these players like someone that's going to go inside a box and go for that shooting, you could go with a Hunter. Maybe you could argue a very, very cheap, not as good, of course, but a cheaper version of Bellingham, actually. Conor Gallagher, not a bad card. I don't think he's one of the exceptional cards. Maybe we should actually skip through him, but I think he's okay. Actually, no, we'll skip through him. Zaire Emery is actually a decent... Actually, no, he's not. Again, his defensive awareness is actually pretty low. I was looking at his short passing and I was thinking, hang on, he's actually very, very good. But 5'10", it actually got a good dribble of the ball. It's actually not a bad card. Maybe not worth doing the evolution, actually. Guendouzi, more of a bit of everything. Nothing really spectacular. To be honest, Zambo's really, really good. I used to really like this card. I never used to like him because of his work rates, but now they removed work rates. He's very much there. I'd probably still go with a Shadow, just because his shooting stats are not the best, but another Serie A squad, maybe you can argue Loftus is probably better. Now, Lerma with you can go Shadow or Hunter. I'd maybe go with a Hunter here if you like that player running in deep. I actually really like Lerma. He's one of my favorite cards, starter squad cards, because he has everything that you want. Good pace, decent dribbling, good physicality, and decent defending, shooting, and passing. Always normally a start team that I go with. Zakaria, this is the card that's on my undercover because look, he's got 88 sprint speed now, or he had it anyway. But then you put a Shadow on him, he's got 96. Now the McDonald's League, Uber Eats, that's called McDonald's League, I believe, League One. Not that many good players. You got the Marquinhoses and stuff like that. But it's not a league that's maybe sought after as it once was, apart from like the Dembeles and a few others. Not as good as it once was. Then we've got McKennie. I actually really like McKennie. I use him year in, year out as just a very good card. He can literally do everything. Again, you can go with a Shadow or a Hunter. That's a good box-to-box player. And then we've got Renato Sanchez. Could go with a Shadow here. The good agility and balances. You're paying for that card. And you can link to both Jeremiah right back and centre back. And you can also do Gyökeres. I think that's how you say his name. Lacks the finishing, but you go to something like that, or you could probably even go for, maybe even a Gladiator. But that is basically it in terms of that. I don't think there's really anyone notable that I think that can stand out unless I've missed someone. I don't think there's really anyone. Maitland-Niles maybe actually, because I forgot he can play with this card center, but he's okay. He hasn't really got the best of stats. There isn't really anyone that I would say is standoutish, but I would say that Kessie card I would say is probably, out of them all, I would say that Kessie card is definitely one of the better cards, in my opinion. And guys, that is the best for the evolution. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace out, boys.